Regis Reeves, this mic is all yours.
You're listening to ACIM Gather Radio for students and teachers of A Course in Miracles. Join us at acimgather.us.
and fields, in the mountains above. I see love, I sing love, I see love. We are singing as one, rising above. I see love, I sing love, I see love. In the forests and fields, in the mountains above. I see love, I sing love, see love. We are singing as one, and we're rising above. I see love, I sing love, I see love. In the forests and fields, in the mountains above. I see love, I sing love, I see love. We are singing as one, and we're rising above. I see love, I sing love, I see love. In the forests and fields, in the mountains above. I see love, I sing love, I see love. We are loving awareness. We bring love, we are here. Loving awareness. No loneliness and no fear. Hari-Om, 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 Hari-Om. We are loving awareness in everything that we see. We are loving awareness. I am you, you are me. Hari-Om, 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 Hari-Om. We are loving awareness in every breath that we take. We are loving awareness in the love that we make.
You are listening live to ACIM Gather, a gathering for A Course in Miracles students and teachers. For more shows and information, visit acimgather.com.
It's okay to have just a little, and it's swell to have a lot. On the bottom or in the middle, in a rowboat or a yacht. Love is what we long for, to be acknowledged and to be seen. In the end, does it really matter if you're a prince, a pauper, or a queen? The more you give, the more you live. The more you live, your happiness is relative. And if you're feeling like crap, it's time to face the fact. It's your prerogative to be positive.
Yes, and good morning. And it's that simple. It's my prerogative to be positive. Oh, it's too simple, Regis. It's not that easy. Well, okay. I believe in easy. It's easy for me, you know. It's quite easy. Good morning. Welcome to ACIM Gather. If you're listening by radio or by YouTube, welcome to YouTube listeners, subscribers, and those who join us in our chat room here in Pal Talk. And that's paltalk.com, which is a chat app that you can download on most digital devices. And we've been gathering in Pal Talk for years. And we have a nice little group of folks that love to come in and chat and interact. And again, the mic is always open. You can indicate by typing or by clicking on the blue bar that says join queue to talk. That lets me know that you are to interject into the conversation. Conversation is always open. You're always welcome. And I looked over here at my box of ACIM cards while I was saying that, and I haven't pulled a card in quite a while. And you may hear me wrestling around in the box. So I will grab an ACIM card this morning because this whole talk this morning has been me just wrestling on for a topic. I just kind of like open to several different things, trying to really think about or get an impression of what to talk about this morning. And so it is. I rustled upon a current topic. Dove and Sharon brought it into the conversation the last hour. And so the synchronicity, because I did this about after midnight last night. I was deciding and looking through some notes for a topic. And lo and behold, Sharon was guided about it. And so it kind of drove their conversation and talk into the current issue with the war in Israel and the Jewish brothers and sisters. And of course, and Sharon both have heritage, nation of people. And so you'll hear my spin on it in just a few minutes from A Course in Miracles. And I just love the synchronicity of how we just kind of blend together. And not just us. It's interesting. You can turn to various formats throughout the day or week. I can turn to Christian television and they'll be talking about the same thing I'm talking about. They'll be using the Bible references and all of that, which goes along with evangelical Christianity or Western world Christianity. It's still the same topic. And it's just really great to know that there is only one mind. You can think that you're separate and that you have private thoughts, but I know that we really don't. And we've always said that, I was just thinking that, and we don't really understand. And it's not important that we go down a rabbit hole about it. Really, it's not. But when someone else brings it up and talks about it more contextually, we can kind of say, yeah, that's true. That's true. So welcome, Dove. Welcome, Sharon, Carrie, and these names are people that are in the chat room in Pal Talk, by way of Pal Talk. I'm not actually looking at YouTube right now, so I don't know if you're there, but if you're there throughout the day, I know Zuma was there at some point because she saw my talk from Tuesday or Monday, whenever it was. And so we do have who visit, and YouTube is available. It's easy. Most people have YouTube and know how to access it. So it's a great medium and a great expansion of who we are through YouTube. Karen is in the room. Carrie, Delia, Grismer, Christopher, and some of these people are out of the country that join us. We have a large, wide family of ACIM gatherers. And Lynn, of course, Lynn Johnson. And we welcome you all. Those that are dropping in, Nigel is across the pond. And it's just a great gathering here. I pulled from the box of ACIM cards. Reality needs no cooperation from you to be itself, but your awareness of it needs your help. Needs no cooperation from you to be itself, but your awareness of it needs your help. And this really is perfect because I'm going to be looking at chapter 2 of A Course in Miracles. I'm also going to be looking at lesson 23. And the aspects of chapter 2 that I'm going to be talking about is the sleeping consciousness of man. And, you know, I can dream at night, whatever that dream may contain. But in the body world reality, my body is still lying in bed. I woke up, I think it was Saturday morning, and my wife says, good morning, or how you doing? She was already up on her feet. I was still lying in bed. Or she said, are you awake? She said, are you awake? I said, yeah, I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. She said, what are you excited about? I said, I won the women's world championship last night. So that was my dream. While I was in a match with a woman, I don't know, versus being in a match with a man, but I pinned a woman and won the world title. And the owner of the company was not happy about it. So, and she laughed. She said, I can't do you, Regis. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, I was dreaming, you know, but in reality, I was still in bed, regardless of where my dream took me. So, reality needs no cooperation from you to be its truth of who we are. Needs no cooperation from us at all. It is what it is, whether I believe it or not, whether I'm experiencing it or not. The truth of who I am God's beloved child, in whom she is well pleased, in whom he is well pleased, in whom the light is well pleased, in whom the Creator is well pleased, in whom the essence of all is well pleased. But now my awareness of it needs my help. But your awareness of it needs your help. And that's why we try to be helpful. And on that note, Susie from Vancouver is here. And let Susie sing us prayerfully into our lesson in text for today. Go ahead, Susie.
I'm here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, for he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I'm healed as I let Him teach me to heal.
And thank you, Karen, for joining me in the Zoom. Now, this is so wonderful that Karen is in here already, because she was in Pal Talk and is in Pal Talk. And I was thinking, man, I sure wish Karen would join me in the Zoom. But I wasn't going to say it. And so, and lo and behold, and sometimes my wife would challenge me out, because I'll quote, and I try not to be too cliche, because I know cliche can lead us down a dark hole, sometimes down a rabbit hole, used out of context and stuff. But a lot of times I would say, listen, learn, do nothing. You need do nothing. And people, not just my wife, oh, you mean I don't have to do anything? No, no, you don't. Often, if you're guided, but if you're guided not to do anything, you cannot do anything, and things will work out. Things will manifest, because we are of one mind. Um, it's not a quote that you just take uh, willy nilly, and the house down, and you say, "Oh, listen, learn, do nothing," and you have a fire extinguisher. So, but there's guidance in all things. The Holy Spirit is with us everywhere we go. God goes with us everywhere we go. And fear and panic and making stuff happen uh, is not always uh, what we do. It's not who we are. We are not fear. We are love. Hate is not the opposite of fear. I mean, hate is not the opposite of love. Retract that. Hate is not the opposite of love. Fear is the opposite of love. The world teaches us so much hatred. The war is so much hatred. No, it's so much fear. And when you step back, and I said this when they stormed the Capitol, I said, I just saw a bunch of scary people, a bunch of people that was deeply afraid, that stormed the Capitol, afraid that they were nobodies, afraid that nobody cared about them and nobody listened to them. And they were in this great big world, and it was just going to swallow them up. Just afraid. And we know we have that love to activate fear. And he's good at it. Oh, and he's still good at it, even as he is not the president. So we look at the war, we look at all these things that can go on. We look at what happened in the Ukraine. We look at Vladimir Putin. But inside, it's just a little kid. Inside of Donald Trump is just a scared little kid who never felt that he could impress his daddy. He never felt he was good enough. His daddy was rich and powerful, and gave Donald his first $1 million. This business, Donald didn't think that. He thought he should have given him more. So we all have those dynamics of fear, that the belief, the illusion of it, can send us down a dark, dark hole, and we can become aggressive, uh, abusive humans. We love to say men, but women can be just as abusive bodies in abusive relationship. It's just an afraid bully, a scared person. Bullies are just scared, even bullies in school. I remember I beat up who was supposed to be the toughest guy in our neighborhood. I didn't know that I was supposed to be afraid of him. I never met him. Didn't know what he looked like. I don't know if I ever heard his name. And he saw me, I guess, for the first time, and he said, "Here's my next victim." And I wasn't his next victim because I didn't know I was supposed to be afraid of him. And after it was over, they're like, "Do you know who you just beat up?" I'm like, "No, that was, I ain't gonna call his name because somebody from the old school may be listening one day." But anyway, you just beat up blah blah blah. And I still didn't think anything of it. I didn't know there was significance. And he did get me later. He got me later. He got me from behind on the football field, and I guess that was his payback. I had the ball, and he got good. In fact, I got up and never played football again. He got me so good. So, but and people, they're afraid. They're afraid of losing power, losing status, not being enough, and they can be driven by fear to do some crazy things. Uh, just we can call them. You can be so fearful that we will label you psychotic. Uh, we will label you mentally unstable because it has driven you into such madness. Your belief, your belie. So, on that note, and I don't know how all that came up. I just said it because that's what was in me to say at this moment, at this time. It wasn't planned. But who I am needs my awareness. And I do think I'm going to say this and then I'm going to circle back around to it because it was part of me talking about self-esteem earlier, maybe last week or the early part of this week, and how I was talking about the atonement. We talk about a lot of topics. We get into a lot of subjects in our A Course in Miracles group. And I was talking how my grandmother used to say, you got the cart before the horse. You have the cart in front of the horse. You're backwards. You're doing it backwards. And we're really just spinning our wheels if we don't receive the atonement first before we deep dive into all these other topics. In chapter 2, here is the basis of your escape from fear. The escape is brought about by your acceptance of the atonement. The atonement which enables you to realize your errors never really occurred. And I'm typing that into the Pal Talk chat. Now, just think about what our card said, our ACIM card. I'm holding it up in front of my camera if you're on YouTube or in the Zoom. Reality needs no cooperation from you to be itself, but your awareness of it needs your help. And here, right in the middle of my topic today, the escape from fear is brought about by your acceptance of the atonement, which enables you to realize that your error never really occurred. And this is right in the middle of a paragraph that's talking about the deep sleep that fell upon the consciousness of man. And as the Course says, it never says that man ever really woke up. Only after the deep sleep fell upon Adam could he experience nightmares. And that's straight from A Course in Miracles. And so now I go to lesson 23. I'm going to get back to that. But I want to get into lesson 23. Checking my clock at the top of the hour, 4 minutes past the top of the hour. Lesson 23. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. The idea for today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. Are you hearing me? The idea today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. I wonder why that's not a mantra. Yeah, because the spiritual ego, we can have a lot of mantra lessons, but as my grandmother said, we can have the cart before the horse. The atonement is the horse. It's the way. It's the truth. The essence that I am still as God created me. I'm safe. I'm still, if I'm dreaming at night, I'm still in bed. I'm not being chased by a bear. I'm still under the cover. I'm warm. I'm protected behind the walls and doors and locks of my house. I'm not in a WWE ring fighting for the championship. The idea today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. I think I might want to keep that idea close. Nothing else will work. True or false? Yes or no? Yes or yes? Nothing else will work, says the Holy Spirit. Everything else is meaningless. All of my other tactics, my 401k and my savings account and all stuff. Now, this is not a knock at money or 401ks. Let me say this, because I say 401k and people start boom, 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 boom. And in the future, yeah, we are living longer, and I plan on it. I planned in my 20s to live to be in my hundreds. Yeah, I planned to be in the body a long time, and I took steps to make sure if my plan works, that I won't be broke at 90, worried about how to pay the light bill. I plan to live long and prosper, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let me check out the chat. Karen just put a angel face smiling. Yes, I don't want to be 80 wondering if I have enough grocery money. That's not what I have in mind. It's my diligence. Is my trust in that? Do I know that in my lifetime? Yes, we've had crashes. I've watched people from the corporation I worked for over 20 years. I watched people who retired while I was 5 years into the company. We was having retirement parties monthly. This is an old company, and we was always having retirement parties. And I watched, I don't know what year it was, but the economy kind of crashed when a couple of people retired. And man, we still had relationship with them and communication with them, and they were scrambling and worried. And I saw one lady. I saw her. I had met her out in public, uh, and she said, "Man, Regis, my my 401k is falling away fast. I may have to go take a job." Man, so we know that these things can happen. And so this lesson, when it says nothing else will work, nothing else will succeed in my way out of fear. And while I'm rambling, let me say I stop at stoplights because I want to stay in this body. Not so much about wrecking my car. It is an inconvenience to wreck a car and you have to get a rental car, possibly buy a car, got to send your car to have it repaired if it's not total. Even if you don't get hurt, it's just a inconvenience, so to speak. You can have peace throughout that inconvenience or that interruption, but it's not the most convenient thing that can happen in a day. But the main reason I stop at stoplights is because I want to continue in this body, in this world, as I believe it is. It's like I say, and my friend Carlton Pearson says, because we were in the evangelical Christian church for a lot of years, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that is what it is. And there's no guilt in my plans to be a body and remain a body. As the lines, as the light shines away the darkness, I loosen my grip one day at a time on the body. And until that is shined completely away, I'll do what I think I do to have a happy, wholesome, prosperous body life. While I'm not attached to the outcome of the things I do, while I am not, my peace, my sanity, my joy, my happiness is not in the success or failure of the outcome. I know that I am God's beloved child, and God is not mad at me because I say I want to live to be 120. I want to stay in this body as long as I can. Mad at me because while I'm in this body, as long as I can, I want a little money. No, I don't. I want a lot of money. And I understand the way out of fear. Because as you pile up the money, you're still afraid you're going to lose it. So my peace that passes all understanding, my peace that nothing missing is nothing broken, that all is well, lies in the recognition that nothing ever happened and is happening, that I am God's beloved Son in whom He is well pleased. I am still as God created me. Eternity now, thankful in gracious praise and thanksgiving that I don't have to die to go to heaven. I can have heaven now. I'm in heaven now. And so glad I came to the awareness that, you know what? I don't have to die to go to heaven. What joy. Nothing else will work in getting us out of fear. Everything else is meaningless. It's not meaningless in terms of using my money to go to the grocery store and buy groceries and to put gas in my car. It's meaningless if I think that I'm going to get to a certain place, get to a certain relationship, get into a certain marriage, get into a certain income bracket, get into a certain bracket of friends and connections, and my network is so powerful and strong that I won't feel fear. Whether you're the head of the country, you're at the bottom of the country, we wrestle with fear, not being enough, not having enough control, not having enough influence. We fight for this country, Republicans, Democrats. We got to have more control in the House, got to have more control in the Senate, in the Congress. We got to maintain control, because if I don't have this control, I'm afraid when I have it, because I'm afraid I'll lose it. Nothing else will work. Everything is meaningless in finding our way out of fear. But this way cannot fail. Okay, let's get to what will not fail. How can I get out of fear, Regis? Every thought you have makes up some of the world you see. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It is with your thoughts then that if your perception of the world is to be changed, it is with your thoughts then we must work. So the Holy Spirit is not intimidated by our thoughts. It's not intimidated by our miscreations. It's not intimidated that we have work to do. But our spiritual ego gets upset that we have work to do. Our spiritual ego is good at making everything huge and overwhelming. And Zuma put in the Zoom chat, how many 100s? I got lots of 100s. And I'm still piling onto the stack. That's why I keep going to work. My financial advisors for years have like, why do you keep going to work, Regis? And I tell them, I say, I just want to get this stack as big as I can get it while I got the strength and energy to do it. So, hey, you want to travel, I want to pile up money. Tomato. You say pecan, I say pecan. We make much to do about nothing. It's no good or bad. It's no right or wrong. This is not a right or wrong teaching. This is not a theology. This is not a religion. This is not a hell or heaven in terms of bodies being punished or rewarded. We create a heaven. We live in heaven through our fear or through our recognition of the atonement that I am the beloved child of God in whom he is well pleased. I am still as God created me, perfect, guiltless, sinless. I'm not wrong. I haven't done anything wrong. There's no reason, if you don't know sinless and guiltless, you don't relate to that. I'm innocent as a newborn baby. Still, I may feel wrong, Because I feel something. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Just because I feel wrong. I felt wrong this week. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I feel wrong. I feel like I've done something wrong. I feel like I haven't been doing the right stuff. I'm not right. Because I don't feel right don't mean I'm not right with God. God is not mad at me. God is not upset with me. God is not disappointed in me just because I feel something. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Workbook lesson 96. Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever. That's what the Western religious Christian world likes to say. Well, act like it. Be happy like it. Be joyous like it. Be peaceful like it. While I felt something like I'm not right, like maybe God is a little with me or something. I don't know. Uh, the ego, the thought system. Oh, you better settle down. Turn off the TV. Go get the Course in Miracles book. Go sit down and meditate and pray. I'm like, I am not. Not for that reason. I'm not afraid. You ain't scare me. I'm gonna sit right here and watch my favorite TV show. I'm all right. Just cause you feel something and don't believe you gotta get up and do something. Oh, I feel happy today. Oh, I feel so good today. Let's go out and do something. Let's go out and we don't have because we feel good. See, feelings, the ego really don't care what feelings you respond to. It just wants to keep us in the habit of responding to feelings because it knows when we're in the habit of saying, because I feel something, I have to do something, then it can set the trap for later. There are no good feelings or bad feelings. It's just how am I going to react and respond to the feelings. There are plenty of people. We lost a relative a couple of years ago in the name of fun, died, drinking and driving, in the name of having a good time. Feelings, good, the ones we call good, happy feelings, or the ones we call negative or bad feelings, they're neutral. And the happy feelings can drive you off a cliff. That's the suicidal feelings. We buy into feelings. They can take us somewhere and we'll wonder, how did I get here? In this web of panic, in this web of fear. What happened? Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It is with your thoughts then that we must work if your perception of the world is to be changed. And I didn't get past this because it's so much grace in this sentence. And my time is rapidly running out. But there's so much grace in this sentence. It is with your thoughts we must work. It didn't say it is with your thoughts you must work. Because if it's me and you, if it's me and Zuma, I may tell Zuma, you need to work on that. You need to get your shit together. You need to come up to where we are. But I love the grace of the Holy Spirit so gracious, so kind. And Zuma says her cousin does that. But look at this. It is with your thoughts then that we must work. I mean, I'm full. I'm full of emotion and warmth to read your thoughts. We work. I am still as innocent as a newborn baby. Like a newborn baby that's beginning to be a toddler. We work with it. We put it in that little toddler thing. I don't know what it's called. I guess it's a walker. And they are scooting all over the floor and into coffee tables, and we kind of guide them. We work with them. We trying to guide them. We kind of start saying, "Oh, that's dangerous." We don't tell them it's dangerous. They don't understand the word dangerous, but if they're scooting towards danger or not a good place that's going to have a good outcome, we start guiding them and directing them, and they start understanding. We work with them. We teach them hot. We teach them that the stove top is hot while they trying to reach up and do what we do. We teach them hot. We teach them cold. We teach them what's safe for their experience and what's not. We work with them. We don't get angry with them. We don't get insulted. If you have an end table, a coffee table, they want to go in it. We put child locks on cabinets. We work with them until they mature. And Kara says, "Go, little egos." So this sentence just, it didn't even grab me last night when I read it like it's grabbing me now. And it's just because I love grace. I love kindness. I'm fascinated with the levels of kindness and grace that is extended to all of us and how we can just feel guilty. And there's so much grace. There's so much grace that we just fly through the course from sentence to sentence, from paragraph to paragraph, and we can feel guilty so quick. We can feel enough so quick. We can feel that we're not doing the course fast enough, good enough, so quick. And we can go into a little pity, sad story about how we got tricked by the ego so quick. And just as the New Testament, as the King James would say, my grace is sufficient. Always has been. From the moment we fell asleep, from the moment we believed, from the moment we were hiding in the garden, and God was saying, "Why are you hiding? We've been bad." Who said you've been bad? Who decided that? I didn't. So this is a huge download for me. It is with your thoughts then we must work. If my perception of the world is to be changed, God is not disappointed or intimidated by our thought system. It's my perception of the world that we're working on changing. But no one is offended by it but me. The calls are coming from inside the house. Why am I toiling? Why am I working so hard? Why am I on the brink of tears Why is my voice shaking as I talk about all of the activities of my body world experience? And I know I can do better, and I know right now that it's not right for me to feel this way, but this is how I feel. And oh, stop! The calls are coming from inside the house. God is still, you are my beloved child, in whom I am well pleased. This is the atonement. I have the innocence of a newborn baby. Yesterday, today, and forever. The illusion of the atonement is that I can usurp my will over God's will. That I somehow, that's one of the things about Western world religion. There's a will of God, and there is me overpowering the will of God, which makes me a bad person and out of the will of God. It's not happening. And I used to say in here, what will of ours, how do we think we can outwill the will of God? So I have a real, in that, well, I feel like I'm just not in the will of God. I feel like I've just strayed away. Well, I feel like I'm just, oh, so you feel like that you've overpowered God. I'm not impressed by your tears and your depression. No, stop it. You feel like you've overpowered God. You feel like that you're so strong and you're so mighty that you can actually pull away from God. You know how a toddler, think about it. We still in this baby phase. You know how you got a toddler by the hand and they want to do what they want to do and they actually think they can pull away from you. And I mean, some of you get offended. I don't. It's like, you're a joke. You can't overpower me. Little 1-year-old, little 11-month-old. And they try to get mad and try to stump. And they'll, I let them bite me. I mean, you may not can handle that level of pain. I'll let them bite me and just laugh at them. What do you think you're doing? You're going to break your gum or teeth or whatever you think. You're not going to hurt me. Bite. Go ahead. Here's my arm. You know. So I let them know. You can give up that fight. And that's how we are. We think we have an illusion that we've overpowered the Creator. If the cause, paragraph 2, Karen, this mic is all yours in 15 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up in 15 minutes. You tell that lie every Thursday. And anyway, if the world you see is attack thoughts, you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in lamenting the world. And think about what's going on right now in the world. See, we think that compassion is commiserating. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to dig into that. You think about it. There is no point in lamenting the world.
Lament.
Lament. Grieving, weeping for, shedding tears for, sorrow, express one's deep grief about. Now, you all know I come to the course as Jesus said we must come to him as these little ones, or else you will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. If you want heaven now, you got to come bright-eyed, with trust, with total trust. And if Jesus said, this is the way, this is the way. And the way says, point. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in trying to change the world. It is incapable of change because it is merely an effect, an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here you are changing the cause. The effect will change. And that's that doing nature, that human doing. We got to do something outside of ourselves. That belief that we have to do something. And from Adam falling asleep to now, people are like, I got to do something. I got to kill animals and sacrifice them. I got to create holy days and feasts and create holy wars. Because those people worship idols. They don't worship like we worship. They're bad. We got to protect the integrity of God. We have people that try to protect the integrity of A Course in Miracles. And when you do that, you just think the Course in Miracles is just a book. The Holy Spirit doesn't need anyone to protect its integrity. It doesn't need anybody to fight and defend. We get defensive over the Course. Let somebody imply that the Course isn't all that we think it is, or that they're kind of disappointed in it. Or maybe it's not even true. And we'll jump to its defense. If someone is perceiving the Course wrong or we think misinterpreting it, we'll talk for an hour to try to correct them. My wife came home from a Bible study some years ago, and she said the Bible study was kind of taken over by one of the ladies' ideas that her son had told her that he don't believe in God. And my wife came home, what do you think they ought to say to him? What do you think I'm doing? I said, they need to leave that boy alone. He cannot believe in God if he want to. Leave that boy alone. Leave that boy alone. He'll be all right. They was in a panic. The whole Bible study was in a panic, outraged, fear. Like, because he said he don't believe in God, he's gonna walk out and a brick gonna fall on his head because he said that. There is no point in trying to change the world. It is incapable of change because it is merely an effect, But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here you are changing the cause. The effect will change automatically. The world you see is a vengeful world, and everything in it is a symbol of vengeance. Each of your perceptions of external reality is a pictorial representation of your own attack thoughts. Let's make this a mantra lesson. The world you see is a vengeful world, and everything in it is a symbol of vengeance. Each of your perceptions of external reality is a pictorial representation of your own attack thoughts. One well asks if this can be called seeing. Is not fantasy a better word for which a process and hallucination a more appropriate term for the result? One can well ask if this can be called seeing. Is not fantasy a better word for such a process and hallucination a more appropriate term for the result? You see the world that you have made, but you do not see yourself as the image maker. Oh, this ain't me, that's them. Look at what they doing to my people over there. You see the world that you have made, but you do not see yourself as the image maker. You cannot be saved from the world, but you can escape from its cause. This is what salvation means. For where is the world you when its cause is gone? Vision already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. Vision already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. Loveliness can light your images and so transform them that you will love them, even though they were made of hate, for you will not be making them alone. And then paragraph 5 goes into the idea for today introduces the thought that you are not trapped in the world you see because its cause can be changed. This change requires first that the cause be identified and then let go so that it can be replaced. The first two steps in this process require cooperation. The final one does not. Your images have already been replaced by taking the first two steps. You will see that this is so. By taking the first two steps, you will see that this is so. Now, the first two steps requires my cooperation. So the practice is with this, and then you fill in the blank. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts about blank, fill in the blank. Hold each attack thought in mind as you say this, and then dismiss that thought and go to the next. In the practice periods, be sure to include both your thoughts of attacking and of being attacked. So my two steps is to I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts about fill in the blank and fill with thoughts of attacking and thoughts of being attacked. their effects are exactly the same because they are exactly the same. Do not recognize this as yet, and you are asked at this time only to treat as the same in today's practice periods. And at 9:44, over here in the text, chapter 2, all fear is ultimately reducible to the basic misperception that you have the ability to usurp the power of God. What I just said earlier. All fear is ultimately reducible to the basic misperception that you have the ability to usurp the power of God. I can outwill the will of God. I can get out of God's will. I can go my own way. Of course, you neither can nor have been able to do this. Here is the real basis for your escape from fear. The escape is brought about by your acceptance of the atonement, which enables you to realize that your errors never really occurred. Only after sleep fell upon Adam, he experienced nightmares. If a light suddenly turned on while someone is dreaming a fearful dream, he may initially interpret the light itself as part of his dream and be afraid of it. However, when he awakens, the light is correctly perceived as the release from the dream, which is then no longer accorded reality. This release does not deepen. This does not depend on illusions. The knowledge that illuminates not only sets you free, but also shows you clearly you are free. Nothing can prevail against the Son of God who commends his spirit into the hands of his Father. By doing this, the mind awakens from its sleep and remembers its Creator. All sense of separation disappears. The Son of God is part of the Holy Trinity, but the Trinity itself is one. There is no confusion within its levels because they are of one mind, capital M on mind, and one will. The single purpose creates perfect integration and establishes the peace of God. Yet this vision can be perceived only by the truly innocent, because their hearts are pure. The innocent defend true perception instead of defending themselves against it. Because their hearts are pure, because their hearts are pure, the innocent defend true perception instead of defending themselves against it. That's loaded. The innocent defend true perception instead of defending themselves against it. See, we defend our story. That's why I say let go of the story and allow the glory. We want to hold up our story. We want to defend our position. And as I say, unless we come as these little ones, as we come as these children, as we come with this willingness to say yes to truth, no yeah buts, no yeah buts. But as we come to say yes, no defense of my illusion, no defense of my story, no defense of my dream. I say yes to the Holy Spirit. And Jesus said, "Come unto me, All you who are burdened, all you who are stressed beyond what you think you can handle, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. Learn my way of seeing, my way of doing, my way of being, my way of perceiving. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Don't defend your way. And Jesus saying, well, what do you mean yoke, Regis? Connect to me, join with me. Come under my mentorship. Let me show you. And the way that I show you will be easy and it will be light. And that's my time going into the top of the hour. Thank you for hanging out, for sharing, for joining me in Zoom. Karen, Zuma, those in the chat, those on YouTube, Christopher now, Carrie, Sharon, Dove, Lynn, Grismer, Delia. It's been real.
I let go of my judgments, let go of my fears, let go of my chains, and I am free. I become one of God's children. I feel His love for me. I have been given everything I need. Love is the way. Love is the way. Love is the way. I walk in gratitude. Love is the way. I see the light in you. Love is the way. I walk in gratitude. I reach out to my brothers, reach out to forgive, reach out for help to understand. There is just one way to heaven. You can't get in alone. We have to walk and sing in hand in hand. Love is the way. 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 I walk in gratitude. Love is the way. Love is the way. I see the light in you. Love is the way. I walk in gratitude. Love.
You're listening to ACIM Gather Radio for students and teachers of A Course in Miracles. Join us at acimgather.us.
Remember you were part of it all, and when you started to fall, you hadn't. And did I mention that this attention is all in a dream? Life is not all that it seems.
All right, and that's it. Thank you all. Karen Parente, Lynn Johnson. This